Xiaoqu from 7Zhong. Today we are going to be introducing some famous ancient buildings to you.
So, how are you going to introduce these ancient buildings to them?
We're going to visit them.
Wow, we're only 10. I'm so excited.
Silly Albert, we're not really going to travel the world and see them. We're just going to see them here.
Oh, now I get it. So now, let us introduce groups. Jasmine and Debbie will take us to Australia and France. Then, we will see some famous churches from Spain and Russia.
After that, we'll see some famous ancient buildings from Roman Greece.
And then, we will learn some ancient culture with Daniel and Ray and lots more.
So now let us enjoy some fantastic presentations.
Let's go!
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine. I'm Debbie. We are from 7Zhong. Today we are going to talk about Sydney Opera House and Notre Dame de Paris. First, let's talk about Sydney Opera House. The Sydney Opera House is a multi-venue performing arts center in Sydney. It is widely regarded as one of the world's most famous and unique buildings. Designed by Danish architect Jorn Olsen, but completed by an Australian architectural team headed by Peter Holt. Its appearance looked like a very beautiful show. During your daily tour, you can take pictures on the steps of the Opera House and explore its marvelous appearance and decoration. And for special holidays such as New Year's Eve, there is a New Year's countdown and fireworks show at Sydney Opera House. Now, let's show you a short video about the fireworks show. Sydney Opera House hosts 1,600 performances each year, including ballets, operas, dramas, dances, musicals, and children's shows. In addition to the performances, you can also enjoy a meal at the opera kitchen or grab a drink at the opera bar before the show. Then let's talk about let's talk about Notre Dame de Paris. Notre Dame is a very old cathedral in Paris, France. It is one of France's most famous landmarks and many people visit it each year. The cathedral is on a small island on the river Seine. It is the cathedral of the Catholic Archdiocese of Paris, one of 23 archdioceses in France. Construction of Notre Dame began in 1163 under Bishop Marie de Sully, and the main body was completed in 1260. Restorations were carried out in subsequent centuries. During the French Revolution in the 1790s, Notre Dame was damaged. Many religious images were damaged and destroyed. Since the 19th century, many funerals of presidents have been held in Notre Dame, including the coronation of Napoleon I. Notre Dame is a very good example of Gothic architecture in France. Notre Dame, the original French name, means Our Lady, and the Lady is the mother of Jesus Mary. A fire broke out at Notre Dame on April 15, 2019. The fire made the roof and main spire fall. The spokesperson of the Paris firefighters said that the structure would probably be safe. Over 400 people helped fight the fire. 2 police officers were injured, and 1 firefighter was critically wounded, who was treated in the nearby hospital. Wow, I'm so glad they were saved. Yes, and I'm so happy that we can still visit there. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a nice day.
Hello everyone, my name is Amber.
And I'm Jasmine.
Hey, do you know which is the most famous church around the world?
I don't know which is the most famous, but I know 2 churches that are very famous.
Really, which two?
St. Basil's Cathedral and the Sagrada Familia.
Oh, I've heard of them before, but I've never seen them.
Me too. Let's talk about these famous churches. So, do you know anything about these 2 churches?
I don't really know much about the Sagrada Familia, but I know some things about St. Basil's Cathedral.
What do you know about it?
Well, St. Basil's Cathedral is regarded as one of the representative buildings of Russia. It was built by Ivan Barma and Postnik Yakovlev. They started building it in 1555. It took them 6 years to build it.
6 years? That's not too long.
Yeah, that's pretty good for the 16th century. After the church was done, King Ivan was really pleased with the cathedral. He ordered people to blind the architect so he could never build anything as beautiful as the cathedral ever again.
What a terrible person.
St. Basil's Cathedral is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has 9 domes and it consists of 9 chapels combined into a cathedral. Every chapel has its own name.
St. Basil's Cathedral looks really beautiful. What's it like in the inside?
On the inside of the church, you can see lots of paintings on the walls and the ceiling.
It sounds like a really great place for tourists. I should visit it someday.
Of course. How about the Sagrada Familia? What do you know about it?
The Sagrada Familia is the Spanish word for the Church of the Sacred Family. It is in Barcelona, Spain. It is the largest unfinished Catholic church in the world and also a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Unfinished?
That's right. When its architect and designer Antoni Gaudí died in 1926. Less than a quarter of the project was complete. It was expected that the project would be completed by 2026, the 100th anniversary of Gaudí's death, but this has now been delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
How about the designs?
The designs are very special. Antoni Gaudí's original design called for 18 spires, representing the 12 apostles, Virgin Mary, 4 evangelists, and Jesus Christ. But only 11 spires have been built as of 2022. Besides, the church has 3 grand facades: the Nativity facade, the Passion facade, and the Glory facade. The Nativity facade is the first to be finished. The sculptures are decorated by scenes and images from nature. In contrast to the Nativity facade, the Passion facade is plain and simple. This side of the facade demonstrates the sin of man. And the last one, the Glory facade, it isn't complete yet, but it will be the main facade when it is done.
We hope you get to visit these 2 churches someday.
Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm Vivian from 7xiao.
Hi, I'm Komi from 7xiao too.
Hi Komi, what are you working on? It seems interesting.
Hi Vivian, my teacher asked me to do a presentation about ancient structures.
Then do you know about the most famous ancient building in Rome?
I don't know. Can you tell me about it?
It's the Colosseum. The Colosseum, also known as Flavian Amphitheater, is an ancient amphitheater located in the heart of Rome, Italy. It is considered one of the most iconic and recognizable landmarks in Rome, attracting millions of visitors every year.
Then when was the Colosseum built?
The construction of the Colosseum began in 70 to 72 AD under the Emperor Vespasian and was completed in 80 AD under the Son Titus. The Colosseum was used for various events, including gladiator contests, animal hunts, and public spectacles. The Colosseum can hold up to 50,000 to 80,000 spectators, making it one of the largest ancient amphitheaters in the world.
Do people still use the Colosseum now?
The Colosseum was in use for over 4 centuries, but over time, it fell into disrepair due to natural disasters and human activities. Today, much of the Colosseum remains in ruins, but efforts have been made to preserve it. The Colosseum is a symbol of Rome's rich history and cultural heritage, and has been designated a UNESCO Heritage Site.
Wow, it's a great idea. I'll add it in my presentation. By the way, do you know the most famous building in Greece?
Is it the Acropolis?
So smart of you. The Acropolis is an ancient citadel located on the rocky outcrop above the city of Athens. The site contains several ancient buildings and structures, and the most famous one is the Parthenon, a temple dedicated to the goddess Athena.
Do you know when is the Acropolis built?
It was built in 5th century BC during the Athens Golden Age and continued for several centuries. For example, the Parthenon, which is considered one of the greatest works of ancient Greek architecture, was completed in 4th century BC. And besides the Parthenon, the Acropolis also contains several ancient buildings and structures such as the Erechtheum, a temple dedicated to the goddess Athena, and the Propylaea, a great entranceway to the Acropolis.
What an amazing structure, but sadly, we can't see its original appearance now.
That's right. Over the centuries, the Acropolis has been damaged by wars, earthquakes, and natural disasters, but many of the structures have been restored now. Today, the Acropolis is not only a very popular tourist spot, but also considered one of the most important archaeological sites in the world. It's also been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is an important symbol of Greek culture and history.
Wow, you are really an expert of ancient structures. That's new to me.
You too. I've heard many new things about the Colosseum. Oh God, I need to work on my presentation. I'm leaving now. Bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, we are Ray and Daniel. Today we're going to talk about the Abu Simbel and the Machu Picchu. Abu Simbel is a historic site in southern Egypt, consisting of two massive rock-cut temples. It was built during the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II in the 13th century BC as a permanent monument to himself and his queen Nefertari. The complex consists of two temples, the Great Temple of Ramses II and the minor temple of Nefertari. Its facade features four colossal statues of Ramses II, each about 20 meters high. The interior of the temple is also adorned with intricate carvings and paintings, depicting scenes from military campaigns and religious ceremonies of Ramses II. On the other hand, the small temple is dedicated to the goddess Hathor, and there are statues of Ramses II and Nefertari at the entrance. It is also decorated with intricate carvings and paintings, depicting scenes from the life of Nefertari and various deities.
One of the most impressive aspects of Abu Simbel is its relocation. In the 1960s, the temple complex was threatened by the rising water level of the Nile due to the construction of the Aswan Dam. To avoid the temple being submerged, they were cut into pieces and moved to their present location, some 65 meters above the ground and 200 meters away from the river. Today, Abu Simbel is a popular tourist destination and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting tourists from all over the world who marvel at its impressive architecture and rich history.
Machu Picchu is a 15th century Incan castle located in the Andes Mountains of Peru, South America. It is often referred to as the lost city of the Incas, and is the most familiar symbol of Incan Empire. It is considered one of the most spectacular archaeological sites in the world and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
The site is known for its impressive stone architecture, which was built without the use of mortar and has withstood earthquakes and weather for centuries. It is divided into two main areas, the agricultural area and the urban area. The agricultural area has terraces built into the hillsides for farming, while the urban area is a complex of buildings, squares, and temples.
It was built in classical Incan style, with polished dry stone walls. The three main structures are the Intihuatana, the Temple of the Sun, and the three-window chamber. Most of the allied buildings have been reconstructed to give visitors a better idea of what they originally looked like. In 2007, Machu Picchu was selected as one of the new 7 wonders of the world in global internet poll.
It is also a popular tourist destination, attracting millions of tourists every year. However, the Peruvian government has imposed various restrictions on access to the site due to concerns over tourism and conservation. Visitors must now obtain permission in advance, and there are limits to the number of visitors and the activities allowed while you're there. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone. I'm Zach.
I'm Ethan.
Today we are going to talk about the Leaning Tower of Pisa and the Palace of Versailles.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is a building in Italy.
Why is it so famous?
It's famous because it doesn't stand up straight like a normal building. It leans 5.5 degrees to the right, and now it leans 3.99 degrees.
The tower is 56 meters high with a height of about 2.5 meters. It weighs around 14,500 metric tons. and it has 296 steps.
The construction of the tower has lasted 199 years. Work on the ground floor of the white marble campanile started on August 14, 1173. The tower began to sink after construction had moved up to the second floor in 1178. Construction then stopped for almost a century because of war. This allowed time for the soil below the tower to settle.
Next, we are going to introduce the Palace of Versailles. We would like to focus on one special room, the Hall of Mirrors. The King Louis XIV decided to create this large room in 1678. The king demanded that all the materials used to build the Hall of Mirrors be from France. However, that becomes a problem because the mirrors he wanted was made in Venice. Hence, as a solution, some Venetian artisans were brought to build a Hall of Mirrors.
The Hall of Mirrors is located between the Queen and the King's apartment, where a large terrace was located. This terrace overlooked the beautiful garden of the Versailles Palace. However, this terrace became a problem whenever bad weather struck. That's why the Hall of Mirrors is built in that area. The hall is popular for many tourists. It takes about 1 hour to the palace from Paris.
The hall is 73 meters long. There are mirrors on the arches, and they reflect the beautiful garden of the palace. There are also beautiful paintings on the ceiling of the hall. These paintings show the history and glory of France and Louis XIV. There are also rows of large crystals and gold statues on both sides of the room.
Other rooms like the War Room and the Peace Room hold beautiful artwork that depict Louis XIV's reign, his military victories, and marble panels that are decorated with 6 weapons and trophies that are made of bronze. The Hall of Mirrors is created to show the influence and power of the King Louis XIV and the French monarchy. The most important part of it is the 17 arches with 21 mirrors on each, for the total of 357 mirrors.
In addition, there are some busts of important figures and vases in the hall. There are 26 small chandeliers and 17 large chandeliers as well. They are all made of silver and can hold 1,000 candles. At first, the Hall of Mirrors was used as a passageway. Later, it was used as a place for political and diplomatic reception, weddings, games, and large dances.
We hope you have enjoyed these incredible architectural wonders.
Thanks for your listening.
Good night.
Good night.
Hello everyone.
I'm Bryce from 111.
I'm Ryan.
We are going to talk about pyramids from 2 different cultures.
Hey Bryce, do you know the Great Pyramid of Giza?
Yes, of course. It's very famous and really mysterious.
It's also the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Yes, you're right. The pyramid is special because it was built during a time when Egypt was one of the richest and most powerful civilizations in the world. It's 146.6 meters tall and has about 2.3 million stone blocks. Each one weighs about 2.5 to 15 tons.
It is the largest Egyptian pyramid in the world and was built in the early 26th century BC. The coolest part is, it was the tallest man-made structure for more than 3,800 years. It was built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu.
Here is a video of the Great Pyramid of Giza. I definitely want to visit that place. Did you know there are also pyramids that are similar to the Egyptian ones from the Mesoamerican culture?
What are those pyramids?
They have flat tops, which have temples on the top and stairs ascending their faces. Mesoamerican pyramids were primarily for religious and ceremonial sites, and also were associated with sacrificial practices, including human sacrifices to meet the gods.
The largest one is called the Pyramid of the Sun, which is located in Mexico. The pyramid rises 66 meters above ground level and about 220 by 230 meters at its base.
Here is a video of the Pyramid of the Sun.
It seems like there are some differences between Egyptian pyramids and Mesoamerican pyramids. Egyptian pyramids are steep and pointy, while the Mesoamerican ones are more gently sloped and have an outer staircase.
The Egyptian pyramids were tombs for the pharaohs. The Mesoamerican pyramids, on the other hand, are for religious purposes. Also, the Pyramid of Giza is almost 2 times taller than the Pyramid of the Sun.
Where would you like to go more? I want to visit the Pyramid of the Sun because I want to learn more about Mesoamerican culture.
I want to visit the Pyramid of Giza because I'm more interested in Egyptian culture and want to see the Sphinx. That's the end of our presentation.
Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm Frank from 7th Zone.
Hello everyone, I'm Kim from 7th Zone.
Today we're going to introduce Petra and the Inca Wall.
And here is where they are located.
Oh, hey Kim.
What's up, friend?
Here's a fast quiz for you. Do you know where's the Khmer Empire located?
Cambodia.
And where's its capital?
Easy, Anchor.
That's right. Now tell me something about the Inca Wall.
Sure. The Angkor Wat was built by King Suryavarman II, the king of the Khmer Emperor, located in today's Cambodia. The king built a Hindu monument during the early 12th century. It also became a Buddhist center at that time. The Khmer Emperor was powerful through Southeast Asia and was well known for its cultural and agricultural achievements.
I agree. UN UNESCO listed it as a World Cultural Heritage with the Olive Anchor Monuments. It was founded in the 19th century when French explorers were led by local people. They went deep into a Cambodian forest, and after adventuring and exploring, what they eventually found is the Angkor Wat. The center city sits in deep water, and it was surrounded by a huge moat. When you enter it, what you can see is the most fascinating archaeology site of Southeast Asia.
In front of the buildings is the famous Angkor Wat. It worships the Hindu god Vishnu. The whole structure is so ancient and breathtaking, mysterious and fascinating. It has not only stand in the woods for decades but centuries.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but why do I have to give all these information?
Oh, haven't I mentioned that? I'm going to use this information on my global sales project, so thanks for the free information.
Why don't you just serve it on your own?
Well, because I'm lazy and you're knowledgeable.
Then you better help me out with Petra too.
Fine, we'll share alike. So, located in southern Jordan, the lost city of Petra is a historical and world-famous structure. It is thought to have been built during the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt and was the capital of the Nabatean kingdom.
Its most famous landmark is called Treasury, also known as Orcus Name. It is a towering structure carved out of rock. It was built as a mausoleum for the ancient Nabatean king. The site also contains numerous other temples and tombs, all carved out of surrounding rock formations.
Well, I think that's enough information for our project. Now let's finish it.
Sure.
That's enough.
After all these fantastic presentations about ancient buildings, which buildings do do you like the most or do you want to visit the most?
I would like to visit the Pyramid of Pisa because it is an architectural marvel. It's also an amazing sight to behold. What about you? Which would you like to go to?
I would like to visit the Colosseum because of its historical importance. The Colosseum is an iconic symbol of ancient Rome and holds a significant historical importance. It was built in the 1st century AD and served as the largest amphitheater in the Roman Empire.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Thanks. And at the end, we want to hope that everyone can visit all these fantastic presentations and have a great adventure someday.
This is the 111 class presentation. Thank you for listening.